The Hindu Vocabs: abduction, अपहरण, अपवर्तन. 5 held for abduction, rape. 3 men were arrested and 2 juveniles apprehended for allegedly abducting and raping a 15-year-old girl in Nebsarai, the police said on Monday. Abnormal, असाधारण, असामान्य. Competition among entrepreneurs, it was argued, would ensure that no business earned abnormally high returns over a long time. Aggregate, Yogfal Kul Yog. He added that the aggregate profit of all PSBs increased to rupees 70,167 crore in April to December of FY23. Ambitious, Matwakanchi Abhilashi. This synthesis report underscores the urgency of taking more ambitious action and shows that if we act now, we can still secure a livable, sustainable future for all. Ameliorate, सुधारना, उन्नति करना. Now, however, this treatment was available which would both ameliorate the condition of lepers and render diseases less ineffective. Appease, manana, shant karna. On Monday, Mr. Chaudhary responded by saying that the Chief Minister has not recovered from the shock of the by-poll defeat and suggested that as the pressure of central agencies mounts on the Trinamool, it is targeting the Congress leadership to appease the BJP. Archbishop, Mukhya Dharmadhyaksh, he expressed concerns that criticism of the Archbishop over his statement showed that people were being asked to suppress their opinions. Armory, Hathiar Ghar, Shastra I think twice before using certain words or phrases that I thought were quite normal to be in the armory of a poet. Assent, स्वीकार करना, मान लेना. Mr. Dave, through the petition, has argued that the governor may or may not give assent to a bill. However, the decision should be taken rather than keeping the bill pending for months together. Assess, आंकना, मूल्यांकन करना. The outcome budget is a report card of the government to assess how various departments performed with the funds allocated under the previous budget. Averse, ulta, pratikul. This is not fair. I am personally averse to sealed covers. It is fundamentally contrary to the judicial process and principle of fair trial. The court has to be transparent. Chief Justice Chandrachud told Mr. Venkataramani. Batter, Gholley ya Ballebaj. With an aggregate of 268, a highest score of 48, a strike rate of 120 and an average below 20. The 22 edition was Rohit's worst as a batter. Bolster, Sambhalna, Sahara Dena. The authors argue that if even beggars can be shown to behave rationally, then it would bolster the claims of traditional economic theory. Cantonment, Chhaoni. The FIRs were separately registered against Mr. Khera at the Haflang police station in Dima Hasao district of Assam and at the Cantonment police station Varanasi and Hazratganj police station in Uttar Pradesh. Chasm, Khai, Darar, Gahra Matbhed. I want to live up to the trust he has reposed in me. Neither he wants to become the PM nor do I want to become CM. We are happy where we are. The opposition may fantasize about a chasm between us, he added. Collective सामूहिक संस्था संगठन A collective of civil society organizations of Pakistan has offered to mediate between the Shehbaz Sharif government and former PM Imran Khan led opposition and urged for inclusive election to end political uncertainty. Competent, योग्य, समर्थ, अधिकार युक्त For foreign lawyers and firms to practice in India, a primary qualification is required in the form of a certificate by a competent authority of their country which states that they are entitled to practice law in that country. Concili- conciliatory, conciliatory, मैत्रीपूर्ण, समझौताकारी. On Monday, the Speaker struck a conciliatory note by expunging remarks made by him against a Congress legislator. Concur, सहमत होना. I reaffirmed with Prime Minister Modi our commitment to strongly upholding international order based on the rule of law, said Mr. Kishida, adding that views of the G7 and G20 groupings concur on issues like development, finance, food security, climate change, and energy. Conformity, Anupalan, Sahmati, Samanta. A thoughtless implementation of this condition can be found in Articles 227 to 231 of the Pakistani Constitution, which state that all laws shall be in conformity with the injunctions of Islam as laid down in the Quran and Sunnah, and a Council of Islamic Ideology will decide as to whether a proposed law is or is not repugnant to the injunctions of Islam. Consulate, Vanijya Dutawas. India lodged a strong protest on Monday with the United States over vandalism by pro-Khalistan elements targeting its consulate in San Francisco. Contemporary, आधुनिक, सामयिक, समकालीन. There are obvious to the fact that their silences and statements on contemporary issues give the impression that they live in a medieval bubble. Curable, sadhya. For the first time in the long struggle against leprosy in Sandwich Islands, numerous early cases had come forward in more curable stages and asked for new treatment, and the same all-important change was taking place in India and China. Decent, सम्मानीय, शिष्ट, काफी अच्छा. The HDI assesses a country's average accomplishment in three aspects: a long and healthy life, knowledge, and a decent standard of living. Defame, बदनाम करना. Mr. Badal, in a tweet, warned the state government and the union government against dangerous conspiracies to defame the most patriotic Sikh community for communal polarization and electoral gains. Delusion, Bhram, Galatfahmi. What is astonishing is that some religious outfits continue to be under the delusion that even in democratic India they would be allowed to establish their authority over Muslims in the name of protecting an unreformed personal law. Deposition, Bayan Padjyoti. Ms. Kavita skipped the deposition last week, citing her pending plea before the Supreme Court. Dilemma, Asamanjas, Duvidha. The role of women and children as people who were not foreign terrorist fighters but were still advancing IS cause poses a dilemma for officials who examine cases such as Begum's. Discomfort, Kasht, Pida, Asubidha. Hima Das, Assam, showed no discomfort on her return from injury as she breezed to an easy win in the women's 200 meter in the Indian Grand Prix won at the LNCPE Keriyavattam here on Monday. Dismissal, Barkhastagi, Padchuti. The major demands in the memorandum include reduction in input prices, withdrawal of the Electricity Amendment Bill, and dismissal of Union Minister of State for Home Ajay Mishra, Teni, for his alleged role in the Lakhimpur Kheri incident. Dissolve, समाप्त करना, भंग करना. This is a totally failed government. The AAP government should resign on its own. They should dissolve the government and hold fresh elections to help save Punjab, Ms. Kaur said. Dominant, Prabhavshali, Pradhan. It feels that while the alliance could form a government, a narrative for a victory was still elusive and a struggle to be the dominant partner is on. Disharmony, Asangati, Asamanjasya. At a press conference, Punjab Inspector General of Police (IGP) headquarters, Sukhchand Singh Gill, said that 6 criminal cases against Mr. Singh and other alleged WPD members had been registered so far. No charges of spreading disharmony among classes. So far, on charges of spreading disharmony among classes. Competence, Yogyata, Patrata, Samarthya. Whether the governor should decide on its legality or the legislature's competence each time a bill is presented for assent. Competence, Yogyata. When the regular driver wanted to take a day off, he would engage another to do his work. If the regular driver wasn't quite sure of the competence of the substitute, he would sit along with the passengers to make sure that the substitute did his job well. Component, Bhag, Ghatak, Ang, CUMI, Science Pact with DRDO for making missile component. Component, Bhag, Ghatak, based on commercial off-the-shelf components. This star sensor costs less than 10% of those available in the market. Coalition, Gathbandhan Mail. On Friday, the Congress, a key ally in the ruling coalition, demanded a review of the Bihar Prohibition and Excise Act 2016 in the budget session. Credible, Vishwasनीय, Pramanik. They have sought an effective, sustainable and credible conservation regime for the Western Ghats, its diverse ecosystems and ecologically sensitive zones. Component, Bhag Ghatak. The International Conference on Primary Health Care, ATA 1978, listed 8 components of minimum care for all citizens. Comprehensive, Brihad, Bistrit. One way or another, issues raised in Beijing's plan for Ukraine will be touched upon during the negotiations. Comprehensive explanation will be given by President Putin of the Russian position, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told reporters. Comprehensive. This is because it is neither universal in its implementation nor comprehensive in its coverage of services. Coalition, Gathbandhan Mail. This holds true of Kerala, where legislative business has come to a standstill after a severe deterioration in relations between the ruling coalition and the opposition. Credible, Vishwasनीय, Pramanik. However, there is no credible, peer-reviewed peer-reviewed research pointing to a lab leak.